Welcome, and thank you for clicking on this video. Today in the studio, we have a Harley Benton MV-4MSB short scale bass. Let's check it out. So this is going to be more than just kind of my thoughts and review of this short scale Harley Benton bass. This video will also have a personal story because this bass is going to be a gift for my long-standing music partner. We started playing together shortly after I moved to Winnipeg in 2008 or so, and we were both kind of hired gun sidemen for a singer-songwriter. I played bass, he played electric guitar, and when that gig ended, we actually took on co-music directorship at a church gig, and we've been doing that gig ever since late 2010. This has been the longest standing music collaboration relationship I've ever had, a continuous one. So as a sign of my gratitude for that fruitful relationship, I got him a bass. He knew I really loved my red Mustang and he wanted a short scale bass. So I offered, why don't I just, modify a Mustang for you? And he kind of hinted that he didn't really want to spend that much money on a bass. So what I decided to do is I purchased this very economical Harley Benton Mustang style bass, the MV4 here, and I modded it the same way I modded my Mustang electronic wise and string wise. So let's get into it. Now, how I modded my red Mustang here, if you've seen my other videos, you've likely heard this story. I've never really been a fan of kind of PJ pickup sets in general. I find when you blend the two, there's always a bit of a volume drop, and I can't stand the noise that I get from the single coil bridge pickup. So what I've done to this Mustang, along with a lot of my other basses, is I completely disconnect the bridge pickup. And what I found is by taking the bridge pickup completely out of the circuit, it actually opens up the tone of the P pickup. I electrically cannot explain why that is. I just know tonally the bass sounds much more open and has more clarity. So that's what I've done here. As well, on this bass, I've strung it with Thomastik infelt flatwounds gauges 100 to 43. Now on this bass, if you've seen other videos on this from Bass the World or Low End Lobster, then you already know that the biggest problem with this bass is the volume control controls both pickups and there's no way to select between these. Knowing that going in, and knowing that I wanted to kind of mod this in the same fashion as my Mustang bass anyways, that wasn't really a deal breaker for me. So I popped open the hood of this bass and I'll put up a picture here. And as you can see, both pickups leads were soldered to the same lead on the volume pot, and they were both grounded together on the tone pot. So all I needed to do was desolder those two, and then I resoldered the leads of the P pickup only to the volume pot. I left the pots stock. I also left the tone capacitor stock as well. As you can also see from the photos, this cavity is completely unshielded. And at first I wanted to shield it, but I wanted to kind of reassemble the bass with the stock components with only a wiring modification. And I wanted to see how noisy it was and what kind of tones I got on it before making further modifications. I restrung this bass with Thomastik infelt flatwounds. That is the short scale set, so there's 106 to 43. Let's hear some of the tones you can get from this bass. Let's start with the volume all the way up and the tone all the way down. Let's roll that tone knob up to about 25%. Let's roll the tone up to about 50. $75. And now tone wide open. All right, well, let's put this bass up to a drum track and let's see how it sounds. Like the other Harley Benton basses that I've previously reviewed, I find with these electronics, with the tone knob setting greater than 50%, it kind of becomes a little harsh and metallic for my taste. So, and especially with the TI flats that I've put on this, and I've talked about this before, I think the strings sound best with a tone knob at 50% or lower. So putting those two together, in this playing example, we're starting with a tone at 0, then at 25, then at 50, and just for fun, we'll put some foam under the strings by the bridge, and let's see how it sounds. Here we go. So please let me know what you think of those tones you just heard. Please leave some comments below. I think overall, this bass with modifications I've made to it sounds pretty good. Now, these flatwounds are only a few days old, so it's going to take some time for them to settle in and kind of mellow out. So right now, it is hard to say whether or not it's just new strings or the pickups, but I do find the tone a bit on the kind of pointed mid-forward side, so it decidedly sounds more modern than my Fender Mustang. Now the bridge saddles may also be playing a role in that, but noise wasn't an issue at all, even though there wasn't any shielding at all in the cavity. So I think for now, I might just leave this bass as is, let things mellow. I'm going to give it to my music partner and see what he thinks of it, and we'll go from there. But I think the build quality on this Mustang style bass from Harley Benton is pretty remarkable for the asking price of around 270 Canadian dollars. I I'm mystified how they can build a bass for such a low price that looks like this and sounds like this. This bass weighs in around 8.5 pounds, so it's pretty lightweight. And it balances pretty well on the lap when you're playing. It does have a tendency to dive a bit, but I think most of the basses of this style and this dimension tend to, so it's not exactly out of the ordinary. I think the Goto tuners are a nice touch, just to decrease some of the weight. In comparison to the PB Shorty that I previously reviewed, in my opinion, I think if you are looking for an economical bass as a modding platform, I would choose this over the PB Shorty any day of the week. Anyhow, please let me know what you think of this and the modifications I've made. Again, these modifications were to suit kind of the tonal goals I had in mind and for my music partner as I modeled this bass after my red Mustang. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please stay tuned for the next Harley Benton video in the series where I put this head-to-head to my Mustang for a sonic comparison. Stay tuned for that one. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you next time.